All right, Corey Anderson, big fight coming up this week. But before we get to that stuff, I got to ask you, man, how was the hunting? That was all you could talk about the last time I saw you.
Hunting was great. I had a good season. I think I finished with 10 or 11 deer total. So freezer's full, had plenty of meat for the camp. So I'm happy.
There you go, man. So this tournament opportunity came along, it didn't interrupt what you were doing? You didn't have to pull away?
Not at all. Hunting season ended February 20th, and February 21st was 9 weeks out from the fight. So yeah, worked out perfect for me.
Universe works in weird ways, man. But talk to me about this opportunity that's here, the tournament. Kind of a fun thing, right? You've been around, you've fought all sorts of different, main events and big fights, but is it cool to have something new like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's new, but at the same time, it's not for me because I fought the Ultimate Fighter, how I got started. 8-man tournament, winner got a contract. Same thing as now, this 8-man tournament, winner gets the belt. Also, growing up as a wrestler, college wrestler, high school wrestler, every weekend you wrestle a tournament atmosphere. And like Bader said in his, you're just used to that atmosphere as a wrestler. You go in, you see the brackets, you know who you have, you know who you got to beat to fight the next person or wrestle the next person. If he wins, who goes here? So you know how the format goes, and you know exactly who you're going to fight next. And I like that. I like that you don't have to worry about what's next. Who's next? Like after the last fight, the question was, do you get, what's his name? The champ, Vadim Nemkov. Do you get Nemkov right away? Think you deserve it, blah, blah, blah. But nobody knew. Nobody knew who was next. As for now, you know exactly what's next. The platform is already laid. The matchups are already set. You just got to go out there and win yours and get to it.
And your opponent was maybe the only one that didn't have like a major name, that wasn't the headliner for the UFC or Bellator. Now that you've had some time maybe to study him, I mean, do you think his abilities are up to par with the rest of you?
I mean, all organizations have great fighters, and over in ACA where he was a great fighter there. So now he gets to come showcase his skills here. Now, I don't think anybody in the world matches up against my skills. That's just the way you got to be when you step in that cage. We train to be the best. You don't train to be mediocre. You don't train to get by. You train to dominate everybody. Now, can he compete in the 205 division? Yes. Can he compete with me? I don't believe so. And Friday, I'm going to show you why.
Yeah, and coming in against a guy that, like I said, he's very accomplished elsewhere. ACA is a very legitimate organization. But going against a guy that maybe doesn't have the name recognition, do you think that helps you, hurts you? Like, is that a high-risk, low-reward situation at all?
I mean, it's a fight. Anybody you fight is a fight. Any time it's a high risk or high risk, high reward. You go out there and risk the chance of getting knocked out, losing, whatever it is. And if you win, you get your 2 checks. If you lose, you only get 1. So it's a double-edged sword. You go out there and you do what you're supposed to do, great. You go out there and you lose, and it's like, then this guy, he was either legitimate or you made a mistake, So it's just the fight business, a risky business, a risk we play.
And what's the keys to victory, do you think, for you now that you've had some time to study him over?
I mean, keys to victory for me is like it is in every fight. You go back, I was watching my UFC fights this morning. Like all the fights I won and dominated, it was always a simple game plan, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Do me, keep the pressure, work the fakes, work the hands, work the kicks, work the takedowns. Use everything. Be a mixed martial artist. Don't go out there, be a striker. Don't go out there, be a wrestler. Put everything together, mix it up, and that's how you come away with a W.
Talk about a tournament, knowing who you're going to fight next. Your side of the bracket's already filling out a little bit. Ryan Bader won last week. He had a lot of nice things to say about you, how he was rooting for you and everything like that. So what did you think of his performance, and was it nice to hear those comments?
I mean, it's good to hear those comments. Glad to see there's still no bad blood there. Like I said, I helped him with 2 camps. I helped him in the UFC for Phil Davis, and I helped him in Bellator for Phil Davis. And as for his performance, the first 2 rounds, I feel like he started off slow. He was timid. I feel like in his mind, he was thinking about the UFC fight however many years ago. Like he was scared if he run in, he was going to get countered. But once he got past that and used his fakes and his wrestling and mixed everything up as a mixed martial artist, he squashed him. And once he got him down, once he put all his weight on top of him, there was nothing Lyoto could do. He gassed him out. From that short time, he was on top in the end of the second or end of the third. In the next 2 or 3 rounds, he just did it the whole fight and dominated.
And the rest of the field, the other side of the bracket, is there anyone on that side that you're like, man, when I get to the finals, this is the guy I really would like to face?
I mean, anybody over there, to be honest. I was talking to one of my guys here who's helped me work out. Anybody on that side of the bracket is going to be a tough fight. He asked me, how do you think Nemkov and Phil's going to go tomorrow, Friday? I don't know. The first fight, Nemkov won, but he was getting tired in the third. Now it's a 5-round fight. So Phil, if he has the cardio, he can go. Rumble and Yoel, same thing. Those guys are both exciting. Both got 1-punch knockout power. Both are big household names. So either one of those guys can win, and all of them are legitimate. They could beat each other at any given time. So it'd be an honor to share the cage with either one of them in the finals.
And since the last time you fought, the rankings have been implemented. You're coming in at number 3. Did you think you should have been higher? Did you think that was a good placement after just one Bellator fight?
I paid no attention to the rankings. You know, I did that my whole UFC career, and I think that was part of the reason like some of my performances were as bad as they were. Because I was going to a fight thinking about the rankings. I can't believe they disrespect them. I can't believe I'm not ranked here. I'm arguing about the rankings all camp instead of just worrying about myself. So when the rankings came out and everybody was sending them to me, I said, that's cool. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the end of the tournament. Worry about this fight first. At the end, I'll state my claim for where I should be. And that's all I can do. Go out there and perform.
Kind of unrelated to this weekend's fight, Jon Jones, a guy that you've been linked to in the past. You guys had words in the UFC. He's kind of come out and kind of gotten a little bit of a back and forth with the UFC negotiations. Do you feel like with what's going on with him is kind of similar to what went on with you and what ultimately led to your exit?
I mean, him is a little different because he's more high profile than me. But it's the same situation, you know. They kind of lowball you and they take advantage of you, and that's what it is. And just like you think at the 55 title fight going on, you got Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, but then you got Dustin Poirier, you got Justin Gaethje, you got plenty of guys that's ranked above those, but they're going to take the lowest bidder, you know? Instead of going to the highest bidder, they're going to do everything they can to save the money in their pocket, and that's what it is. They're just not going to pay you your worth until you go out there and you have to either earn it, but sometimes you do that and they still don't think it, or there's no options left, and then it's kind of like, okay, your turn.
And do you think there'll ever come a point in time where that changes? I mean, I think now maybe more than ever starting to realize that great fighters exist everywhere, not just the UFC. But what do you think has to happen in order for change to happen, or can it not happen?
I mean, change can happen, but we got to unionize. But then you got the big name guys like Conor. Like now, before Jon Jones, I didn't feel like he would because he was making the money he wanted to. Now he's trying to fight to get the money. Now would be the time to throw out the union, and maybe he would show face and jump on it. And you get a big name like him, and we get some other big name guys, some other champions that feel they can make more money, and that's when the union will be effective. But as long as the little pawns of the organization, the guys in the 10 to 15 rankings, or not even rankings, trying to jump in there, all they're going to do is cut you and bring somebody else in. But when you're a household name that's selling tickets and putting butts in the seat, you jump on it, then they have to listen.
Gotcha, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and good luck in the fight on Friday, Corey.
All right, thank you.